Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Knack. We've got some tournament action coming at you. This was played yesterday. Whoops, did I just start that over? Yeah, I did. That's okay. That is okay. Looks like we've made it. Made it to the point that we want, but it is going to be SS and Dignitas Killer battling it out. By request of Mega Bad Kid, I must mention. So this is going to be a nice little matchup here. It is in the winner's bracket. So these guys definitely favorites to win here. Let me go check out and actually tell you how far along it is in the bracket really quickly. Okay, so it is round 4, which is the top 8 in the winner's bracket. So this is the best 8 in the winner's bracket, so only a couple away from making it into the finals. So I mean, really high level of play here. These guys did make it through the brackets pretty well. But oh man, I'm actually pretty pumped to see this one. SS, obviously one of my favorite players. I know I say it over and over again, but I really do enjoy his level of play and his particular style. Just tons of fun. He's just got an air about him. But Dignitas Killer, man, is not a joke either. He is a great player. He is going to be spawning as our yellow Zerg here. There you guys, currently on GSL's Antigua Shipyard. It does force cross position spawns. Looks like SS getting a scout out at this 5 o'clock position, and does see Dignitas Killer as well as his very cool little icon that he got from winning BlizzCon in 2011. Nice stuff there, man. It's pretty cool. It actually looks really bright with that yellow. I wonder what it would look like if he changed his color. But he does play as yellow pretty consistently. In fact, I have not seen him play any other color so far, but good stuff there. It looks like SS up here at the 11 o'clock position. He is our green Terran and taking his fast double gas. Gateway has gone down. He is going to have a nice little wall off here in just a few moments, and looks to be in great shape. Now we do have Killer going for trying to go for a hatchery here, but he did have to go for his spawning pool first, and there goes his hatch. 2 minutes and 53 seconds in. So it looks like SS did stall that for just a little while, but not by too much. But every little bit counts here. So maybe a little bit of frustration point for Killer here. Early game, we'll see how he's going to respond here. But no gas, so he's going very gasless at this point, and which may mean we're going to see a fast third out of him. He is currently working on some queens, and just going to be beefing up his economy. Checking in on that units tab. He is at 15, however, to SS 18. SS really working those chronos, man. He's chrono boosting the heck out of these guys for the time being, which I agree with there, man. That's awesome. That's what you want to do for a Zerg. You really want to try and pick up your economic advantage if at all possible, because they can drone a heck of a lot faster for you once they get those queens out and the inject cycles start going. Got to love it. But no expansion out of SS quite yet. He is only 4 minutes in, so we'll see if he's going to go for a one-base type of play. Now, SS is known for his, pretty hefty one-base pushes, and that could be a good, it could be a good play here. Killer, you don't necessarily want to get into late game with Killer. He techs very quickly, tends to be one of those guys that, gets his tech and very crisp timings, does not waste a moment, but never gets them too soon either. So his tech pattern tends to be really spot on. SS may want to try and avoid that by using one base play. But he's currently chrono boosting out. A Stalker does have a sentry queued up behind, so we're going to get some sentries out on the field here in just a few moments as well. In the meantime, he is going to be moving forward with a Stalker who is not going to have a good time with this many queens out on the field, and a spine crawler. But he's getting off a good couple shots on that spine crawler. Softening it up there just a little bit, which is going to set him up for an attack here in just a few moments. But here come the Lings. Lings actually extremely good against those Stalkers, but they do not have speed, however, and that is a big deal. He did not get the speed out quite yet because guess what? No gas. He's just now getting his first gas up and running. Well, SS still poking forward here with just 2 Stalkers. Very interesting play. That queen is going to die. Nice kiting here from SS. Looks like he may even save all 3 of these guys. Beautifully done. Great micro here from SS. Killer, gotta be careful. I wonder, Team Dignitas does seem to treat this guy very well. He's a very loyal individual, and he's always making his rounds. He plays a lot of tournaments, and I just do want to express very quickly how grateful I am to him and SS for coming out and supporting our tournament at Old Starcraft. It's really nice to see these guys coming out and playing. SS always a favorite. I do want to mention too that SS did win the very first AGL Invitational. Taking down first place there was a phenomenal feat. Now back here at SS base, he does have his Nexus about to be complete. It's not far behind at all. He's going to have it complete here in just a few moments, which should be right around 7 minutes and 30 seconds, so not bad. Just about 30 seconds late. I would like to see it maybe 30 seconds sooner. But that's okay. So far, so good. He is going to have a pretty nice little defensive posture here. Gateway's going down. No forges quite yet. I would like to actually see some forges come out. Upgrades tend to be extremely useful. They scale very well versus Zerg. And that's what you want to see, is anything that gives you a slight advantage here. But SS does have a nice army as well. And keeping a lot of sentries in this force is going to pay off for him in the time being. So good stuff. Looks like forward position being taken here by Killer. He's starting some phenomenal creep spread. And he's going to send his lings out, who are about to have speed out on the field, by the way. Speed, exactly what he needs here. And going to be moving forward, just taking the tower for now, keeping map control, and he's starting that creep spread as we mentioned earlier. So getting that creep spread out, going to give him even more map control. So yeah, creep spread is OP. SS moving forward, he is going to have a pretty sizable force of sentries here. Wow. 7 sentries now moving forward with some good Stalker and Zealot support, but he's going to need a lot of force fields to take down these spine crawlers effectively, so he's got plenty of them. That's exactly what he needs. Oh, but he's losing his forward pylon. Not a good deal. Good snipe there from Killer. And that's going to cost SS his reinforcements for the time being, and I hate to see that go down. Too very bad. In the meantime, Killer is going to be going for a run by, it appears. Nope. He's turning around, headed towards the center of the map. He's going to try and get a flank attack on these guys. Splitting up SS army there just a little bit. SS trying to consolidate there very quickly. Always a smart move. Then he can utilize those force fields that much better. Here comes your engage. A little bit preemptive on the force fields maybe, but all in all not too bad. And you can see Killer trying to bait more force fields there. How very interesting. Trying to bait the force fields, keep those guys low on energy, is a good idea. And Killer taking this opportunity to secure himself a 3rd base in beautiful time. Must be feeling pretty confident at this point. Getting it down a little bit, about 30 seconds early, and he is going to be going for a Spire, which you have to consider your stand against your opponent if you're going to go for Spire versus Protoss, and that's what I think what he's done here. He summed him up, said, "Yep, I feel like I'm a little bit ahead here. I feel like I've done a decent amount of damage. I haven't had to commit to too many resources to my army at this point, so I can do something a little bit more risky, or not necessarily risky, but a little bit more micro intensive, and pick up those Mutalisks. He's got 12 in production right away as soon as that Spire finishes, as well as picking out his Flyer Attack level 1 for a nice upgrade to shoot for. In great time as well, might I add. SS now putting down a couple more gateways. He's also tossing down a robotics facility, so good old thing there. Chrono boosting out some upgrades. Did Chrono boost out weapons level 1, now Chrono boosting out weapons level 2. In the meantime, we do have your Mutacloud starting to cruise out across the field. No AA up in the main here of SS, so he is going to have to move these Stalkers into position very quickly. No way for him to see this going. He has 0 map control at this point. Here come the Mutas. I do expect these guys to pick up quite a few kills, especially since they're already coming out in the number of 12. Wow, taking out nearly half of those probes. Well, they do evacuate and try and get those Stalkers in position to deal with these guys. Nice play there from SS, but that does put him slightly behind here. Let's just check and see what that looks like on the units tab. 39 for SS to 59 of Dignitas Killer. Now we do have a Dark Shrine on the way. Where did he hide that? There it is right there. Right in the center of a row of pylons. I love it. That's funny. So DTs might be a saving grace here, but here comes your Mutas. They are going to take out a pylon here. SS does need to be careful of these Mutas. Muta's going to be extremely pesky, but DT Shrine is about to be complete, and I assume we're going to see those DTs head out across the map as quickly as humanly possible. See if we can get some of those guys in position in the mineral line, start doing some economic damage to Killer. In the meantime, these Good old Cloud of Muta is actually being fairly active still, and I like this. I really enjoy this play from Killer. He's got these guys out in great time. SS slightly behind in his response to it, so he's catching his opponent off guard there. Done a lot of damage with them already, and still being very active. He's just keeping that map control. Just cruising around for the time being, but where do we have our DTs going? There they are. 3 DTs. In the meantime, your Mutas are gearing up for an attack at the back side, but SS was in position to thwart that off. But look at this. We do have a lot of detection here. We got Overseers at the ready. SS did lose one of his DTs. Brutal stuff. Man, it's costly. That's the worst, man. When you've got DTs, you're hoping that that's going to pull it out for you, and it just turns out they've got too much detection in all the right places. Brutal, what can I say? And now Killer has got a humongous cloud of Mutas. And even though SS, wow, he's got Archons coming out, and he's got a lot of photon cannons. So I take that. I take back what I was about to say, and I was going to say SS has got a pretty decent number of Stalkers, but not really. Come down to it. SS has got a very nice number of Archons, and Archons are a great choice against those Mutas. You get that. If you can get those splash damage down on those guys, it will definitely work in your favor. Here comes Killer. He is going to hit the mineral line while SS is moving forward for what appears to be a big push. Looks like we're going to see a base race here, but SS is out of position for the base race, and that's a scary deal. Got a lot of cannons here at his front gate. In the meantime, these Mutas are picking off everything over here. This is going to supply block SS, but look at that. Scary looking force moving forward. See if he is going to be able to take down the kill, but Killer does have a nearly maxed out army at this point, and he has got a lot of Lings and a lot of Banelings back here. More Banelings morphing in. He's got a forest of spine crawlers like we mentioned last night. A friend to the environment, D-Killer, Dignitas Killer. Does love to get those forests planted. Look at that. Banelings cruising in here, taking down quite a bit. Running up against those Archons is not a good deal. Archons soak up so much damage from those guys. And D-Killer might have this base in jeopardy for the time being, which is good. SS has lost both of his mining bases, and he cannot rebuild, so he's got to make this happen. And it appears that this is not going to be a large enough force. Killer going to be moving in with his Mutas. Splash damage going down on the Mutas, but not for very much longer, and he is going to clean up these guys, giving the GG SS. Losing game number 1 there. Dignitas Killer, the winner, prevailing. Beautifully done. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for watching. We'll head into game number 2 between these guys here in just a moment. We'll catch you guys then.